What's the crack? Welcome back to the Irish Boys podcast. Another triumphant victory for Manchester United at the weekend, so good moods all around. I'm wearing a United shirt for a change.
Yay.
Can take some pride in my club again. So let's kick straight into it. 4 topics to go through. One is going to be match reaction. Second one, we're going to talk about the positive vibes that are now around Manchester United. Third one I want to talk about is the return of Lisandro Martinez. And the fourth one then, a look ahead to the games to come. So, Mum, long time coming, always preaching the hopium. How are you feeling right now about the Amber Mirror?
Well, all this nonsense about we've turned a corner and that's United back and all that sort of crack, that to me is just nonsense. It's far too early to call, far too early. But yes, I agree with you. I am buzzing. That result was just what we needed. And I did watch it to the end, Kieran. I didn't switch it off.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I know. The nerves held. But
they held the 3-2.
No, because it was a match that I thought we were going to win this. You know, it was... The tempo was very high, and I think we hadn't an argument. We had a discussion how Cunha and Mbeumo were going to transform that team, and I think they are. You know, I hate proving you wrong, Rory, but you were wrong.
It's not often we get to prove Rory wrong in the last few years. So
we get to crow. No,
yeah,
our positivity has paid off.
Yeah,
our hopium and positivity is. Trying to see the good and everything is paid off for once.
Off on him.
I think there's 2 really important points there, right? First off, yes, Cunha and Mbeumo are making a massive difference. And secondly, the 2 of you need to refer to what Mum started off with. It's 3 games. Do not get carried away.
It's hard not to get sucked into it, though.
I think when you're desperate for positivity and he gets his first 3 wins in a row, I mean, I can see a stark contrast in the way Manchester United started under Ruben Amorim and the way they played in the Brighton game. The Liverpool game was tough, I think, because he had to change it tactically, but definitely it's 3 brilliant wins. Brilliant wins.
3, nothing. It's not 3 wins. You know, we pointed out, he's only won against relegation sides, but he's come out and he's beat the last year's champions, Brighton, who always seem to have our number, and beat us. Sunderland, who are now sitting in the top 4, who have started very, very well for a team that has come up and still look a decent outfit this season.
Beat Chelsea recently, Kieran.
Beat Chelsea.
And beat Chelsea. Yeah. We've won 5 out of the last 7 games.
Yeah. I think you can see on the pitch they're turning a corner though, Kieran.
Yeah.
I don't know what you made of the game of the weekend, but I thought as an 11, including our midfield, which I pick out all the time, as an 11, again, you saw that fighting spirit.
Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed as well. It looked, if you look back on it, I don't know if you watched match today and stuff, it looked like, you know, they've kind of worked out the midfield kink, where the issues that were getting overcrowded in midfield were Cunha and Mbeumo seem to be pulling back and supporting the 2 in midfield in certain transitions of play. So it feels like there's more bodies and less gaps, and Casemiro looks a lot better for that as well in the midfield.
But he's not so isolated.
No, and I think they've got, you know, they say all the legs have gone, the football's gone on him, but if you have Casemiro has for the legs he has, give him good support for 60 minutes, get the job done, get bodies in close that he's not too isolated, as you said, Jacqueline, and then swap him out, keep him fresh, get Ugarte on. You know, it seems to work so far in the last 3 games in a row. It looks very, very much better tactically.
I don't think Casemiro is the answer. Don't get me wrong.
No. I know he's not the answer.
I think he is
stopgap before we get a.
He's getting a lot of help. He's getting a lot of help. I think when I look at it, you know, Lenny Yoro stepped into the team for an injured Harry Maguire. I thought that was Lenny Yoro's best game this season. I thought he was very good. I know United shipped 2 goals, right? But the goals came as a result of changes made by the manager. We'll get on to that in a minute. But I thought Lenny Yoro was very, very good. I thought that Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes got a lot of help from a back line that looked more confident in their goalkeeper. So they're pushing up a wee bit and allowing the central pivot to sit, which was nice to see, you know, Shaw and Yoro. I think that you're right. I think Cunha and Mbeumo came in and helped out in the midfield, which was great. And I think that Diallo held the line in terms of transitioning from a 5 at the back in defence to coming forward and actually offering themselves as a 5 in midfield and the forward line going forward. So it just looked like they were starting to believe in the tactics of the system. I think they're starting to let themselves feel the kind of muscle memory of the training that they've been doing under Ruben Amorim, and to let the position kind of dictate how they're starting to play. And yeah, it's only positive for the minute. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to the one negative of the game, Kieran, right? The 2 goals, for me, right, my opinion first, the substitutions killed Manchester United's momentum. I thought it was, I wouldn't say naive by Ruben Amorim, but there was a touch of a lack of respect for who Brighton are under Fabian Hertzler, that he thought he could make those changes with no repercussions.
Did he not make them because of the charge, Rory?
I think he possibly did, but they shipped 2 goals. Yeah. You can say, he took the yellow card because he didn't want to lose the game. What happens? He makes the changes, takes the lads off, and Brighton end up, at 3 each. And it very easily could have happened.
You could say it could have happened. I think Bookings and as I said earlier about Casemiro, if we're 3-0 up, you think you should be able to make those substitutions as a manager.
Oh, sorry, I'm not digging Ruben Amorim out. I'm digging.
I'm not saying you are. No.
I think Aidan Heaven and Kobe Mainoo is the 2 that I'm even shade at. Aidan Heaven made a couple of decent interceptions. He gets in the highlight reels and stuff. He was glaringly out of position. I think when the first one was coming in.
For that 4th goal, Rory.
Huh?
Evan? The assist for that 4th goal.
110. And that's what I mean. He also had put in a brilliant tackle where I can't remember, I think it was Mente almost got away down the left hand side and he came across and it was a phenomenal tackle. 2 highlight moments. But a bit like Lenny Yoro, who's a very, very good footballer, you can't be that out of position. You have to understand where you're playing in the team. And if he assists for one but he's the fault for another one, then it still counts. And I thought Kobe Mainoo was really poor again. I think Kobe Mainoo was just a wee bit lost in that team.
He's lost in the system. And I think he's lost in the role that Amorim wants him to play. So, I mean, like a lot of players, like Marcus Rashford, he's more comfortable on the left side than he is down the middle. And that's where they play their best football, the position that they're comfortable in. But I think that he's not liking the role. And there is talk that Napoli, because of Kevin De Bruyne's injury, are pushing hard to get him in January.
Okay.
So that could be a big conundrum where Kobe Mainoo's concerned, because you're going to be left with a very disgruntled player if Amorim doesn't let him go and he doesn't get picked for the World Cup. And then if Amorim can see him in a system, there's going to be that resentment there after a tournament that he thought he should have been involved in. So that's a big, big headache for the club.
I mean, if you're going to play the hypotheticals and you say that Kobe Mainoo leaves, right? Kobe Mainoo would leave for, I would assume, a 60, 70 billion pound transfer fee. Now, Napoli have already apparently pushed ahead in negotiating the transfer fee for Rasmus Højlund. They want to sign Højlund permanently. How are Napoli affording that?
I don't know. They're taking a loan in the summer transfer.
Possibly, but then Manchester United wouldn't get the transfer fee in for Kobe Mainoo and therefore couldn't move on the likes of an Adam Morton or a Baleba. I don't think Ruben Amorim, for any reason, especially not to protect Kobe Mainoo's feelings, will allow the team to be weakened now that we're in this position of strength. If Kobe Mainoo leaves, you need an automatic replacement to come in, because Kobe Mainoo provides the depth to Bruno Fernandes, and God forbid Bruno Fernandes was to get an injury. You'd be sitting going, you'd have to shoehorn Mason Mount in the midfield. It would just upset the rhythm of Manchester United. So I can see, I was the one that said it last week, I could see Kobe Mainoo pushing for a transfer in January. But it's who he goes to, Mum, because there has to be a serious chunk of money departs if Kobe Mainoo is to leave. And I personally don't see Kobe Mainoo working in a Ruben Amorim team. So I won't be shocked if it happens.
Well,
but it has to be a big
point about a ready-made replacement. Excuse me. Apparently, there's gossip from sources that United are looking to take the Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, well, he was rumoured for on lastminute.com.
Yeah.
In the summer.
So I mean,
Again, sorry, the AFCON's coming up. We're going to be
I
losing
was just going to. I was waiting for that. Yeah.
Brian and Burmo. So it's going to be all hands on deck then until they come back, and it depends what way they progress.
yeah, I mean, I think, right, so if we take the Kobe Manu situation, we finish off that one, okay? Kobe Manu going out, there has to be a replacement. If the replacement is Conor Gallagher short term, at least it's short term. At least there's long term thinking from Manchester United there, where it's not this short termism, oh God, panic by a midfielder because Manu was going. I think the long term goals are Adam Morton or Baleba, possibly both. And I want to see one of them play in a United shirt. So if Conor Gallagher fills the gap and Kobe Manu cries out of the club, then fair enough. But Conor Gallagher needs to understand his third choice.
Well, apparently,
Unless, would Conor Gallagher start over Casemiro?
Not at the minute, I don't think.
No.
Because he doesn't start for Athletic.
No, not the way we're going at the minute as a body in the squad. I think he'll maybe get a chance, especially with the African Cup of Nations. We're going to lose him, Mbambo.
I think not a central midfielder though.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you lose Mbambo, right, to the Cup of Nations,
Fernandes fills in, and then Conor Gallagher plays alongside Casemiro.
Yeah.
See, right, if we're moving on to that now,
on paper, theoretically, possibly.
I think when the African Cup of Nations comes up, right, and I think this is a permanent fixture in the squad as well, I think you're going to see Lisandro Martinez fill in Luke Shaw's position. I think Lisandro Martinez will come in, if he can stay fit and establish himself as the left centre-back. I think that moves Luke Shaw into the left wing-back position. And I think when the African Cup of Nations comes, that moves Diogo Dalot to the right-hand side because it'll replace Ahmed Diallo. And then I think the front three will be Matheus Cunha, Benjamin Sesko and Mason Mount.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think the midfield stays the same. I don't think he'll move the component of Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro because it's established in itself now. I don't think he'll mess with that. I think he'll move the team around a wee bit. And in the games where they're fit and there's no overlap on fixtures, I think it's going to be Mount, Cunha, Sesko, Luke Shaw playing left wing back / left midfield, and Diogo Dalot over on the right hand side. Martinez, De Ligt, alternating Maguire and Euro, and then keeping Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in midfield. That's the way I see the African Cup of Nations being played.
Yeah, I know he hasn't been not going to affect much, but Mazraoui's got at the Cup of Nations as well. Not that he hasn't been starting in the team, so not really affect our form as much or the rhythm as much at the minute. But I think it's only the three of those guys going, and depending on how far they get, I suppose.
Yeah.
Cameroon do have Onana in that, so
yeah. I mean,
hopefully we'll get Brian back soon enough.
It is an interesting one, the African Cup of Nations for that United team. They are going to miss a few out of the squad, actually, for a few first team players. Is Chidu Obi still there?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that Joshua Zirkzee would obviously benefit from minutes from that, but there's heavy rumours that he's gone, that he has formally told United that he needs to move on. So you don't know, because I mean, Joshua Zirkzee, if you've got Mount, Cunha, Sesko, and Joshua Zirkzee, I'm almost not afraid of the losses to the African Cup of Nations. A lot of teams are going to suffer losses because the African players are starting to become, they're top tier now. It used to be you had 3 or 4 in the world that were brilliant, but now you can happily make a top 10, 15 of individual talents across European football that are African. But yeah, I think you need to have enough cover.
For a change.
For a change, yeah.
It's nice to have that bit of quality in the squad depth.
Yeah.
That we're not,
But pushing on to then, what way we see the squad shaping up now in the new Manchester United mould. I think Martinez coming back is going to be essential.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I think Diogo Dalot was the only bad point I seen in the Brighton game. It was kind of like he just doesn't understand how to play there.
He's just Dalot, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's playing on the what do you call it, the left. He's a right-sided player.
I was just going to stick up for a moment and say it's hard if you're a right-footed player to try and play left back, especially when you're up against Brighton's lad, especially Mente. He is
He's brilliant.
deadly quick. Like, you blink and he's past you. You have to be on it every single time. Aidan Heaven put a brilliant tackle on him to stop him when he got beyond it. But Luke Shaw is obviously going to move out into that left wing back position because he's played very well in left centre back.
Yeah. I'll give him his flowers. He hasn't done much wrong. Luke Shaw, now, fair play to him. I even say, I know maybe you weren't the biggest fan of him, Murray. Delit's impressed me.
Delit's been brilliant. Delit has really stepped
games. Especially in the game against Brighton where they were starting to get their tails up a bit. He ran for your ball. He busted his guts, and I know he plays ran across out of his position just to make a tackle and win the ball, just to get the crowd back. Get the atmosphere back on the United side again. And I thought that was what a fucking tackle. I was like, I'll remind you of Nemanja.
Yeah.
Just steaming across. I was like, get out of the way, lads. I've got this.
Yeah.
It's good to see as well. And the team's fighting for each other. They're like, how many times last season did we sit here and said they just look like a bunch of individuals? They're not together. They're not fighting for each other. But that performance against Brighton, I think, looked. I know the confidence helps. When you've won a few games. But I thought they really fought for each other and they worked as a unit, and it was fluid. And.
Let's an experienced professional player, like an international player. It's brilliant to see him step up here.
Yeah, and it's hopefully he keeps it going.
Yeah,
because they're all fighting for their international places.
But he lost his. That's huge. I think that could play into his psyche for why he's busting the gut and putting it in now. He lost his Dutch place because of the frailties he was showing. Lack of pace, and he suits the three at the back. He suits being the central piece of the three at the back. And I think, in certain games this season, when Martinez is back fit, you're going to have a back three of Lissandro Martinez, Matthijs de Ligt, and Harry Maguire potentially, with Luke Shaw out in the left wing back position. Those are seasoned, tenured, aggressive defenders. You're not going to have a good day there. You could potentially have a good day in terms of scoring, but you're not going to enjoy it. You're coming off that pitch knowing you're in a fight. Because Maguire, de Ligt and Martinez are rough, and Luke Shaw doesn't shy out of the physical challenge. So I think no matter if they've got Ahmed Diallo out on the right hand side, all of a sudden from set pieces you're starting to see four lads in the box that you're thinking, okay, the cover is there. Maguire and de Ligt should theoretically win most things as a centre back pairing when it comes in the air.
It bodes well, and hopefully we'll see. I think one thing Martinez, I know. Is the aggression and the mindset and the fight that I know I've seen it there against Brighton, but I think Martinez only adds to that, and the leadership and the mindset of the players, which we've criticised a lot in the last while, and the frailties there and the mentality. I think that improves even more if the confidence, if we do get a few more wins under the belt. Adding Martinez into the mix, whether it takes him a while to get up to speed or not. Just coming back from a lengthy injury. And hopefully he stays fit and he might ease him in, or does he throw him straight or give him minutes, build the minutes?
You're the best when it comes to the research side of this. How fit is he?
Well, he's not much fit. And he's just back in training. Now, he's been working very hard in the gym apparently, but he's just back a couple of weeks on grass. So I agree with Kieran. They can't give him 90 minutes yet.
No, but how close is he to sitting on the bench?
Well, they said mid-October, and it's all different. And now it's going to be the start of November. And then people are saying it might not be until after the international break.
When is the next international break?
18th, middle of November.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a gap. So we actually get a longer international break because our first game after the international break is a Monday night football against Everton on the 24th. So everyone plays that weekend before, and then we play on the Monday.
Look, I trust Manchester United, and it's I'm going to use the word trust a lot tonight. You look at the rehabilitation of Mason Mount, and Eric Ten Hag and his backroom staff could not get that right. And whatever Ruben Amorim did, whatever medical advice they sought, or whatever coaching was put in place, it has transformed that lad's career. So if there is a team at Manchester United that I trust to rehabilitate Lisandro Martinez, it's this team. You know, I think they've done a brilliant job on Mount. Mount looks like a different lad. And yeah, if Martinez needs to sit out till the end of November for the betterment of his long-term career, then I'm not angry at that. United are winning games. And segueing into who's on the horizon, it's Forrest this weekend, and they look absolutely shocking. So they'll end up beating us. What do you say?
Sean Dyche show, aye. Big Sean Dyche.
Do you know what? Sean Dyche is a cracking appointment for a Nottingham Forest team that has physicality in it. So, Mum, Forrest and Sean Dyche against the mighty Manchester United. Give us your thoughts. Do you think United can walk over them, or can Sean Dyche eke out the draw?
Well, it's funny because I was reading another article that Man United are dropping their interest in Carlos Baleba. And the two that they're going after, or the two that they're looking at, is Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton. So it'll be interesting. So it'll be interesting to see his performance. The other thing is they have Morgan Gibbs-White and who's the other, Hudson-Odoi. You know, the players that can hurt you.
Yeah,
you know, it's just, I wouldn't take it for granted that this is all 3 points nailed on because we've come off the back of a few good wins. I would just like to see that fight continue on, that cohesiveness, that team unity, just continue on and not take any more matches for granted, especially the fans as well, of course.
The performance as well, you know. Yes. I think it's not. I know we've lost a lot of games. It's what annoys me. I don't know about you guys more than losing is the way you lose.
Yeah.
And if you don't look at like doing like scoring or like anywhere dangerous or just lying down and not fighting and fighting for every ball and giving 100%. If you lose, you lose.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we're not there team wise either, Kieran. I think there's a couple of more pieces of that jigsaw that needs to be put in implemented. But it's more entertaining now to watch United than it has been last season at the start of this season. You know,
well, I just pulled up
really nice football.
Yeah, I just pulled up the stats there from the Manchester United versus Brighton, right, as lively recorded from Opta stats, right? So you're playing Brighton, who, as Kieran said, are a bogey team for us, and playing decent football in their own right, okay?
Yeah.
United had 9 shots on target to Brighton's 5. They had 4 big chances to Brighton's 1, and they missed 3 big chances to Brighton's 0. So Manchester United, it was expected if they had converted their 3 big chances, could have got 7 goals in the break game. When's the last time we seen that?
Yeah.
Do you know, it was a really flowing Manchester United performance, and unlike resurrections that we've seen under Eric Ten Hag, it wasn't fight and bite and a bit of luck that got United over the line. It was good football. Yeah. United in moments and in spells dominated the game, swept the ball around the pitch and made Brighton look like the lesser team. And I think that's why I'm extremely confident that United will put Forrest to the sword.
I really hope. I know it feels weird me being me feeling that just do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like winning 3 games in a row, and like we're so get slagged so much for not winning the back-to-back games, and now we've won 3, and I'm sitting here like getting excited. I'm like, the title's coming, or between 21's coming, we're gonna like finish top 4 and all the rest, and we were all predicting top 10, top 8, and we're sitting here in 4th. We're above Liverpool, we're above Chelsea. We're 2 points off second. You know, I know it's only 9-10 games in, but the way we played against Brighton, absolutely. You would hope that they would put Forrest to the sword, as you said, Rory. But there's just that wee thing, the wee niggle. I'm sure it's there for you too. The wee niggle in the back of your head saying, "What if it flips again?"
Yeah, of course it is. I still think United are 6th, 7th best team in the Premier League. And there's an argument made for some of the teams outside of it, but much in the same way that Liverpool won the title, and much in the same way that we've seen in other seasons this year, a few of the big boys haven't shown up. Chelsea have capitulated under the pressure of a busy fixture schedule where they went to the Club World Cup, and they can't seem to get consistency going. Liverpool are going through a blip, which I think is a consequence of too much change in the summer. You've got Man City, who are shockingly inconsistent, and I don't have a reason for that one. I don't. The only thing I can think is the absence of the Rodri that won the Ballon d'Or is costing Man City. That having that pivot on the midfielder.
Kevin De Bruyne is bigness.
Exactly. You need Rodri to be two players in one. He's not doing it.
And
So all of a sudden,
I think as well.
I think
if
City didn't have Erling Haaland, they'd be in big trouble this season.
Yeah, they would.
But they do have Haaland, and Liverpool do have an immense squad. And where you say a blip, there is a niggle in the back of my head going, right, we need to accumulate points while they're going through their rough patch, because they won't stay like this.
Oh, no,
They're eventually get it right. Yeah. You need to be a good 6 points ahead of them at Christmas, I think, to hope to be in. Because I still think Chelsea are a better team. I still think Liverpool and City are better teams. And I think Arsenal theoretically should win the league now. I know it's very, very early, but this is the sort of sprint that you go on now to put the rest away from it. So, but in current form, the way they're playing, I don't see why United couldn't get fourth or fifth. There's no guarantee that City and Liverpool will write this. There's no guarantee that Chelsea won't have a head stagger and sack Maresca. It's just, football's a funny game.
It's funny. It's very weird. It feels like a very topsy-turvy weird season. And it just feels like a lot of teams you expect, like you said, Rory, to be fighting on all cylinders for competing for the top spot, have bricked it and they've bottled it.
Yeah, I mean,
they've done an Arsenal 10 games in. And it's like,
we're also used to the bottom three being decided in the first 10 games. Sunderland are flipping joint third. Sunderland are in the same points.
Who's seen that coming?
Yeah, and they are putting the big boys to the sword as well. They're beating the big teams, and they're beating them with proactive, determined, gritty football, and it's brilliant to see. It's been a brilliant start to the Premier League.
And we'll talk about the Brighton game. Sorry, we'll go back to the Brighton game again, but it was pointed out. If you before the game, the teams Brighton had beaten this season already. They've beaten Chelsea, beaten City. All the big boys. That's it made me more confident. It's okay, right? Fair enough. We can all get up for the big game. United get themselves up there. They'll play their hearts out and play well against the Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool at Anfield. And then, right, here we go. Brighton's the game. It's going to crash down. We're going back to reality. Ruben out as the negative atmosphere, and then we go and do that to Brighton.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat Chelsea, City, Newcastle. They drew with Spurs. I think they only had 2 losses before they came into that game on Saturday. 2 obscure losses.
They hadn't lost any of the last 5, right?
Yeah. So Brighton were doing really, really well. A team in form, they came to Old Trafford and United beat them convincingly. It's just brilliant to see. And again, harping back to it, it's unlike the Eric Ten Hag era where you sort of felt like it was paving over the cracks. To me, don't know about you, Mum, but the biggest word I could use here is progression.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's finally looking like it's starting to click.
Yeah. Our defence is looking well. Our midfield's playing steady. And our forward line's one of the best in the league.
How much of that defensive steadiness would you attribute to Sene Lammens?
A lot.
This much?
Yeah.
That's great. A lot.
Because I've seen a lot of people saying this. Just interested to get the 2 of your thoughts on this. So a lot of people are saying that the reason the defence in Manchester United are looking more stable is quite simply because the goalkeeper has changed and he's filling them full of confidence. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do. Because you need somebody confident behind you. Then you're not babysitting during a match. That that is vocal and is commanding, and he is brave. Now he comes out and he catches the ball. And I think at set pieces, well, every team has to work at set pieces because there's too many set piece masters out there at the minute. But you need somebody that. Go back to it again, that you don't have to babysit through a match. And then that throws your whole game out of sync.
Okay.
What do you call it? Their defenders you have to work as a unit with that goalkeeper. And I think he's very young, but he's very vocal. And he's commanding. And there's a sort of wouldn't say arrogance about him, but there's confidence that will reflect on the defenders as well.
Yeah, I think that goes back to what you said. You said earlier, there, Rory, about the like we were both actually saying about the system and the tactics. It's like that confidence the backline have in the keeper allows them to push up further, as Ruben Amorim's system dictates that the line should push up, and it gives them the confidence to know that there's a keeper like Sonny Lammon's behind them.
Do you think that's helping out the midfield as well, though? That back line pushing up, fixing those gaps.
But it fixes the gaps, and then it allows Casemiro to play like we know he can.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look as shaky. It's more stable, and then you obviously have in certain phases of play, like I mentioned, Mbeumo and Cunha, the 210s, coming back a bit more, not all the way, but like back closer together. So there's less of they can help each other out and work as a unit and as a team. And I think the keeper, as young as he is a big part of that. And the confidence goes through the team, and we've seen how confident United have been in these last few weeks, and just Lord may it continue. It's good to see,
I think another big positive to take from that, it is really, really important to highlight that Sonny Lammon's was a goalkeeper playing for Royal Antwerp and has come in, hit the ground running in the Premier League. It's a brilliant find by Manchester United. It was an unpopular find amongst fans like myself who didn't believe that it could work and wanted Emi Martinez to come in and sit between the sticks and didn't see how this young lad could come in and make so much of a difference. And it's a fantastic find from whoever scouted that person, decided on that person and identified him as a potential Manchester United number one. And if that is going to be the style of recruitment that continues at Manchester United, then I'm really happy with it, because I think one of the big things that United are being lauded for now that they're going on this run is their recruitment in the summer has transformed United. Lammon's looks brilliant. And Mbeumo, Cunha have really transformed things. Sesko is a brilliant outlet up front, and I think is going to be big for Manchester United. I really think, I think he came a wee bit later, and I think he's just going to find his feet now and really come into his own. So it's positive, especially for a team that does have to make more acquisitions. Yeah,
for what we've got so far, Sesko got picked up an assist there at the weekend as well, and he's brilliant one, and he's his fight and his hold up play and his his good feet for such a tall player as well, and he's got the strength of a good proper centre forward, and I think when he does drop in a bit deeper, he does benefit the team a lot as well. And Dorgu's starting to improve steadily. I know sometimes he can be a bit frustrating, like I was talking about last week, but the signings so far for Amorim, whoever, like you said, is doing the scouting and recruiting, long may continue. Like finding them younger gems like the keeper, Premier League proven stars like Cunha and Mbeumo, and it could reap its benefits, and hopefully for the rest of the season and the years to come.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a front three that hasn't played together before. You know what I mean? They're brand new. They're trying to figure each other out on the pitch. There's just so much skill about all three of those players that I'm so excited to see it in the years to come. And the one that has shocked me, I knew what Mbeumo would give you. He's quick. He's direct. He gets beyond you. He's got a great first touch and a brilliant finish. Cunha, skills to burn, but we've seen it. But Sesko's close control is ridiculous.
Oh my God, it is.
I mean, the one where he took it on his chest and just brought it down in an instant and turned around, had a wee look and flicked it on and then made it to the box. And if you look at, I think it's Cunha's goal, right? What Sesko does brilliantly, he runs and drags the defender. The defender has to go with Sesko's run, and it just gives Cunha the angle. And that's brilliant to see. It's brilliant to see a centre forward selflessly make those wee runs where you're like, it can look like nothing on TV, but he's not running there to score because he knows he's not getting the ball. It's a selfless run just to drag somebody with him. It pulls people out of position. And when you have oppositions looking at the Brighton game and looking at the Liverpool game, United are going to start to slowly build a fear factor where teams will have to think about, right, how do you stop that front three scoring? Because they're doing it week on week now. And that's a good thing for United. You know, it'll be brilliant to not be going into a game constantly worrying about the opposition's game plan, for them to have to think about ours for a bit.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
not
I'll
only
say-
front three, Rory. Sorry, Kieran. It's Bruno Fernandes and Diallo as well.
Yeah.
You know,
You've goals everywhere.
Mason Mount.
Yeah.
You know, you've come to a stage, you know, where any of our players, first team starters in that top half of the pitch can score
Well, they've all scored this season, haven't they?
at any time.
Yeah. You have to watch Casemiro too. You have to give Casemiro his props. He is a danger in and around the box. Like, he's great at headers. He is surprisingly good at getting in around the back and scoring headers. And he has got a ping on him if he hits it right.
If he hits it right, yeah. He's good in both boxes, Casemiro, as well, defending and going forward. Like, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if it was last season or the season before, where he scored that equaliser against Chelsea, the last minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just like, it was brilliant.
Yeah,
of all players, I think it was the first header he scored for us, and I was like, how did he do that? And he's got a few more since then. Like, but you know, it's good that, like, you know, there's a lot of players in that team now where there's a danger no matter where you look. And it's not a one player show,
which will only help Ruben Amorim. Right, so if we look ahead now to the weekend, we briefly touched on it, right? But I just want to go through Manchester United's fixture list, because it's important to see now. As we said, United need to build momentum, right? So next is Nottingham Forest the weekend, which United will not say. I would say should win. I was going to say could win. I'm going to say should win. United should beat Forest. Agreed?
Yeah. Agreed. The only thing, I'm not to be negative, but we've done so well at home this season. I know we got the win at Anfield, and the majority of our wins, apart from that, have come at Old Trafford. So the only thing I still think we'll win, but I don't think it'll be an ugly win. I think.
You think they were struggling away from home?
Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I possibly think of, and obviously if they do have a bit of a game plan under Dyche, which we know he's the defensive minded coach, that could trip us up. But the way we're faring at the minute, we should outscore Forest, I think. But
right, so United have been beaten 3 times this year, right? Arsenal beat us in the opening day, but it's the opening day, right? So
we're unlucky in that game.
We went to the Etihad and got spanked by Man City. Spanked. Ridiculous. Brentford game will live long in the memory because it was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't feel there's a large enough sample of games there that we've played away from home to say that we are going to struggle away from home. Fulham was also poor actually after Arsenal, because we played so well in the Arsenal game and then struggled.
It was a drop, I think. Yeah.
Forest is a really good example of whether you're right or not. I feel like if they want to dispel that notion, that niggle you have in your head, they need to beat Forest.
Mm-hmm. If they beat Forest this weekend, and convincingly, that voice in my head will be gone.
Next week they play Spurs on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Big one.
Yeah, 2.
Revenge.
So I think that is a big one as well. Then they go on to Everton, who they play at home. This is after the international break, so they're off for 2 weeks. Then they come back, they play Everton at home. And then the last game of November, they'll have another week's break, which is brilliant. United are getting a week's break pretty much guaranteed now, because they're not playing that Carabao Cup. So plenty of time for rest, plenty of time on the training ground. It's Palace away from home. So it's a difficult November.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Palace and Spurs stuck out for me.
Palace and Spurs, yeah. I mean, United should beat Everton and they should beat Forest, but David Moyes, you know, he is tricky to beat.
They're not a great side, though.
They're not. They're forever. So we're not the Forest. Not the Forest have looked shocking this year. So, I mean, if Manchester United could pick up 3 points at either Palace or Spurs and get 6 points from Everton and Nottingham Forest, we would look really strong going into the Christmas period.
Mm-hmm. And then,
even if they lost one, if you gave them maybe say losing the Palace game at the end of the month, but they manage to win the other 3, just so your boy can cut his hair and we can get a few points knocked up on the board. I think that would be amazing.
Well, it'll be fantastic. It'll be unbelievable. And I think, like you said, right, it will leave us in a very, very strong position for going into Christmas. And like we spoke about earlier, it's like, does Liverpool's rut continue? I hope so. Long may it go.
Yeah.
They this night, don't they?
Yeah.
They play Crystal Palace this evening.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how they handle that one. Be interesting to see how strong they go for that one. First off, whether they put the full team out or not and try and play themselves into form, or whether he just rests and then tries to win at the weekend. Look, I don't think United should be worried about the teams around them. Just need to do what Ruben Amorim was saying and focus on each game now. If they can churn out performances like they did against Brighton, I think that United can beat Nottingham Forest. I think they have a good chance of beating Spurs. Don't think it's a given, because there still are some frailties, but should beat Forest, should beat Everton, have a really good chance of beating Tottenham. Palace away is tough.
Mm-hmm. It's the same battle of the same systems, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And Palace have just made themselves into one of those teams that you don't want to go to at the minute.
Yeah, they make it very hard to go to, I think.
A good side with a good manager.
Yeah, they play brilliant football, resilient football, and they're very physical.
It'll be an interesting game tactically between the two of them. Yeah, I think that's another thing. Sorry, no, just going to say it's another thing that just to notice there, another stat where that's, how like weak we seemed in the past and last season. Like we actually have won the most duels this season.
Well, United have a really physical team all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's come up in Sky Sports there, and it actually surprised me. I was like, oh, okay, we actually are. Just shows how much we are fighting. We're getting stuck in and actually winning the ball back. I'd say if I had pulled that stat from last season, it would have been much, much lower.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the spine of the team as it is now, and because they play with the 2 narrow 10s, the wide players are kind of taken out of it. So United's spine is Cunha and Mbeumo when they play. I can't say his name. I've said it 4 different times, 4 different ways. Each time I said Cunha and Mbeumo, right? Pressing from the front, then condensing that midfield. You've got Casemiro in midfield trying to win the ball. Bruno Fernandes runs about trying to harass people, but he's not great at taking it off him. And then behind that, we're starting to see a settled De Ligt, Shaw, Maguire, very physical, like the Liverpool game, where you've seen them 3 ways getting stuck in. So I can see why they're topping that stat. He has built a very resilient spine to the team. And if Sen Lamans can be the answer to allowing them to play closer up to the midfielders, I think that'll continue. I think United's going to be a very hard proposition, to break down up until they have to make the changes that they had to make, which I think changes the game.
And I think we're only going to get stronger because those 3 players, as you said, Rory, this is their first season at United. They've never played together before. And it was lovely to see after the match against Brighton, the camaraderie that was there in that team. They were all, it was sort of like nobody was left out of the group. Everybody was congratulating one another. Mateus Cunha couldn't stop smiling. So I think that unit will just get stronger.
Yeah, I mean, in a month's time, I'm really, really excited. I'm going to say it now. I'm really, really excited to see the left-hand side of Manchester United's team, because I think it cannot be underestimated the difference that Lisandro Martinez playing left centre-back and Luke Shaw playing left wing-back will make. Shaw will be able to get up and down that wing. He will be able to cross the ball in, which he's effective at. He's good close control, plus he can go on and beat his man. He could be putting, but I think Luke Shaw could become invaluable in the left wing back position because he will have the cover of a centre back.
Yeah.
If he stays fit.
He hasn't let us down yet.
No, because he's playing centre back.
No, he's playing centre back. He's less running up and down.
You think that could contribute to injuries?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking as well. Checking a good point. But I know I'm trying to take.
You're not really losing anything there, though, are you?
Huh?
Luke Shaw goes in the left wing back and gets injured. What are you losing compared to what you have now? We're still playing Dorgu and Dallo.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying, but just to that point is that maybe contributing to the issues he's had with the injury? And if he is such a good player on that left hand side, I'm sure he will be will that affect him, or is there a rehabilitation side, like the way Mount has come back stronger, looking better? Hopefully Martinez comes back the same way. Is Luke Shaw just going to continue in that same way when he does go to that left hand side?
And then the good
And
thing
I hope he does.
We've only one game a week, more recovery time. So you just have to
true.
see how it goes. So
I can't remember if the reason he was out was muscle injuries or impact injuries, though.
it was muscle.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's a funny thing to have to think that a 32-year-old lad going out in a left wing back is going to have to do more running, so therefore might be injured more. It's a very modern take on it, like, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because you would be expecting that there are older fullbacks in. You look at Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker's 35, up and down all day.
Mm-hmm.
So possibly, I mean, does our left wing back have to do that much running when he's got a left centre back behind him? It's not like he's running from left back up and down the pitch. I don't think Diogo Dalot overly exerts himself in a game, does he? He makes a couple of sprints. So does Luke Shaw from left centre back. Look, you could be right.
It
doesn't factor into my thinking when I'm thinking, Luke Shaw left wing back, is he going to get injured more? Although I don't think about that with Mason Mount, and I'm sure people do.
Yeah, it's just a thought. I hope, like I said, we've got the big new facility, the brand new Carrington and recovery, and whatever the medical staff are doing now with Mount and all these other guys. It could be happy days for Luke Shaw fans, and he's back to old. The Shaw we know he can play.
Substituted.
Yeah, but Luke Shaw was taken off for Eden Heaven.
Yeah, and Mason Mount, I forget the last time he played 90 minutes.
But I just think when you're playing three at the back, your left wing back isn't as physically involved as the likes of I don't know. It's an interesting one. Be interesting to see. I'm fully convinced Luke Shaw goes out into left wing back, and I'm gonna put my neck out and say that he does a very, very good job with it. I think Shaw could be revolutionary out there because Dorgu has been shit, and Diogo Dalot, it does nothing game in, game out in that position. Your wee way Pedro Leon has disappeared on us. So I really think that Luke Shaw needs to go out there and that he could transform the team.
Did anybody see Diogo Leon's goal for the under-21s?
Oh, it was brilliant.
Oh my God.
But prediction time. The Nottingham Forest score. We'll go to you first, Mum.
3-1.
Okay. Kieran?
2-0 United.
You stole mine. I'm going to go 2-0 United. I don't think Forest score, Mum. I don't think Forest have it in them at the minute.
Hopefully not.
Chris Wood is the injury, but Chris Wood should be nullified by DeLitt and Maguire.
Should be.
Just don't let him isolate Luke Shaw at the back post and you should be okay.
Or Xerxes, who could fucking dunked on last week.
Oh.
Not on the size of him compared to the...
Don't even.
How did he
going really, really wrong for that lad.
Yeah, I don't know how he directed the ball on goal past Xerxes' hair. Never mind.
Is he doing the challenge as well, is he? Because his hair is ridiculous at the minute. It seems to have got bigger. But I'm fully convinced Kearney leaves in January. I think he's gone. I think he knows he's gone.
Could be. Could well be, man.
But anyways, folks, that'll do us for this week. Thanks so much for listening. And next week, hopefully we are back with 4 in a row and we've beaten Nottingham Forest and keep the positivity train going.
Positivity going.
Yes, that's exactly it. Look, check us out on the... There we go. Check us out on the socials and make sure you tune in next week where we will be discussing, hopefully, Ruben Amorim's men on step 4. Do you know what? I'm going to keep the United shirt on every week the Man United win a game on this road. Yeah, we'll see how long that's. Okay, up the Reds.
All right.
Bye, everyone.